This conference will now be recorded.
So in the previous sessions, we have discussed about the various lightning components, and we have discussed how can we use these lightning components in order to design our own customized user interfaces, and then how can we place the button components and the labels, checkboxes, combo boxes, all these controls we have discussed practically, and along with that we have discussed about the lightning card component also, how can we represent. Now today we'll see, we are going to be discussing about how can we invoke some JavaScript code, okay, from our lightning component. So from our lightning component, how to invoke our own JavaScript code, that means client side controller, how can we invoke. And generally, in order to invoke those controls, in order to invoke that client side business logics, we are using some controls, like it may be text box, it may be button, it may be pick list, or it may be whatever, anything. So in this case, how can we do that? Now, for example, assume that now, for example, I have a button control. I have a button control, which is having the caption as, some search records. Now, upon click on this button control, okay, what it will do, this control is going to be invoking some logic. Okay, now this control is going to be invoking some logic automatically. So it will invoke some logic, which will invoke the logic, invoke the business logic. So which has been prepared by using JavaScript. Which has been prepared by using JavaScript. Whatever the client-side business logic that we have implemented, we can invoke it upon click on this button control. So now, when it is going to be invoking that upon click on this button control, okay, upon click on this button control. Now in this case here, this click is nothing but what? This click is nothing but an event. This click is nothing but an event here. So what do you mean by this event? Event is nothing but an occasion. Event is nothing but an occasion or a situation, okay, during which we can find some actions. We can perform some operation. We can invoke some logic. It may be client side, it may be server side, business logic, whatever it might be, anything. So in this case, whenever if you want to invoke some logics, then we require some controls, and then through the controls, we can invoke the logic based on some events. So when coming to that events, as part of HTML, we have so many events are available. Why I'm using this word HTML is, so now we are going to be using this client-side events. Client-side events. HTML is only for client-side, not for server-side. Because by using this lightning components also, directly we are not invoking the server-side controller directly. we have to invoke client-side controllers. That means JavaScript code. Then internally, JavaScript will invoke your Apex code over there. That means it will be invoking server-side controller. So that here we have to interact with the client-side controllers. That means events. Even with the help of these events, we can invoke some actions. So now generally here, what are the various events are available? So as part of HTML, we have some common events are available. Okay, we have few common events are available. Like as part of this HTML, we have few common events are available. Like, for example, we are having onChange. onChange. That means whenever you are changing some value inside that control, okay, it will be firing that. onChange, whenever you are changing the value of that content, that means control, it will fire the some actions. It will invoke this event. Automatically the actions will be getting performed. Now, for example, here I'm having this onBlur. So what is this onBlur event? Like for example here, assume that I have a text box control. I have a text box. Currently, the cursor is available in this text box. The cursor is waiting over here. Now, once I click on outside of this control, the cursor will be coming out from the control. So whenever the cursor is losing that control, whenever the cursor is coming out from that control, then it is called as onBlur. OnBlur means what? Now the control is losing the focus. The control is losing the focus. That means whenever the cursor is coming out from the control, it may be button also, it may be pick list also, it may be checkbox, whatever, anything. Whenever the control is coming out from this particular control, then it is called as onBlur event. So onBlur event is going to be indicating. So now whenever the control is losing the focus, then it is called as onBlur event. Now, onChange in the sense what? For example, I'm having a text box. In this text box, I have some content like as a welcome. So now this is the actual content is getting visible. So now suppose, for example, I'm removing this character, removing this character E. In that, from that keyword welcome, I'm removing E. That means what? I have changed the content. That means onChange. Whenever you are changing the content of the particular control, then it is firing this here onChange event. So onChange event is going to be getting fired when the user edit the content here. Edit the content inside the control. Inside that control, whatever the content is available, whenever we are going to be editing this content, then it is going to be indicating this. onChange event. Now we have onClick. All are small letters. No capital letters here. All are small letters. Now we have onClick. So what is this onClick event? Basically, onClick event, that means when you click on the button control, when you click on that button control here, when you click on the button control, if you want to fire some actions, then we can use the help of an event called as onClick. Upon click on the button. Upon click on the button control. And then we have on double click. On double click. So now whenever once you double click on this control here, on double click. Once you double click on this control here, then it is going to performing some operations. If you want to perform some operations on double click here, upon double click on the control, then where we can use this kind of double click on this? Generally for the button controls, we won't use this kind of event. On double click we won't use. Then where we can use this kind of controls here? Now let me show you over here. Let's see. For example, I'm going to my Salesforce arc. I'm logging into my Salesforce arc. I'm logging into my Salesforce arc. For example, I have a record inside my object. Let me go to any of this application. Now, let's open any one of the account record. For example, I'm opening this record here. Now, this is the record details will be getting visible. Let me open this contact. Now, these are the details. Now, I want to update this one here. Generally, what we can do, we are going to double click on this control here. Okay, when so double click on this control, automatically the control will be in the editable format. The whole user interface is in editable format. When upon double click on this, okay, upon double click on this, see, once you click on single click, it won't do. Okay, once you click on the single click, it won't do that. When you double click on this, the whole user interface will be moving into editable format automatically over here. That means what? On double click. Okay, on double click, it is going to be performing some operations. Now, next one. These are few common events over here. These are few common events. Now, next one. We have an event here. On mouse over. On mouse over. On mouse over. So what is this on mouse over event? Whenever the mouse pointer is placing on this control here. Okay, whenever the mouse pointer is placing on this control, it is going to be raising this event on mouse over. Like for example, when you place the mouse pointer on this control, it will be indicating this on mouse over. If you want to do some operation, then we can do. When the mouse pointer is placed on the control. Whenever the mouse pointer is available on the control, then we can able to call it as on mouse over. Like for example, assume that I'm having this record information. This is the record. So now here I'm indicating this account. This is the contact record. Now I will green. Now this is the account name here, to which account this contact is associated. So when you place the mouse pointer on this account name, just I'm placing the mouse pointer. That's it. Whenever I'm placing the mouse pointer, automatically it is indicating the details of that account on mouse over. That means whenever you are placing the mouse pointer on this particular control, it is performing some actions. It is doing some operations in the client side. It is collecting the respective account records it is representing. So this is called as on mouse over. Now, next one. Next one. On key down. The next event is on key down. On key down. So now what this event will do basically, whenever you are pressing the key, whenever you are pressing the keyboard key inside the control, whenever a key has been pressed, then it is going to be indicating on key down. Now, in this case, when the user press or push the keyboard key. Now, whenever the user has pressed the keyboard key, that means any of the key here, maybe A, B, C, anything, whatever. Whenever your key has been pressed, then it is going to be indicating. So now this is nothing but the on key down. Now, so in this case here, the next one, unload event. Unload event is nothing but whenever the control is getting loaded. Okay, whenever it is loading that control. Now, so now while loading the page also, if you want to do some operations, upon loading that control, if you want to do some operations here. Now, so now here in this case, once a page has been getting loaded, then if you want to do some operations, then you can do. Now, when the browser has been loaded the page, whenever the browser has loaded the page, then it is called as okay, unload event. Now, these are few common events are available which we are going to be using in Lightning Web Components also, because these are purely client-side events. These are purely client-side events. That's what we are calling them as HTML events. That's what we are calling them as HTML events. Now, so now here in this case, as part of this implementation, so now whenever we are going to be using this Lightning Web Components, then we can use the help of these events also. As of now, we have placed some button controls. We have placed the lightning card also. We have placed some input controls also. Everything we have placed, but now how to invoke? Okay, how to invoke those actions? How to invoke some actions from the control? Okay, I would like to do that. So now let's see. Based on these events only, we can invoke those actions. Like upon click on that button control, upon changing some content, upon control is losing the focus, then we can able to perform some operations also. Okay, that facility is available. Now, in this case, how can we represent this? How can we use this kind of events? Okay, now let's see practically in this case as part of this Lightning Web Components. So how can we interact with these events? Okay, now let's see practically. Now, let's see HTML. HTML events. Basically, HTML events are used to find some actions based on some specific occasion. Like today we have discussed that, okay, upon click on some button control, okay, upon changing some content in the text box, or upon control is losing the focus, okay, upon double click on that control, upon placing the mouse pointer on that, upon pressing a key, okay, upon loading that, once the browser has been loaded the page, then if you want to do some actions, then we are using the help of these events. These are few common events that we have in Lightning Web Components. These are not server-side events, these are client-side. Only at the browser side, these will be executing so that we can able to find some actions depends upon the requirement. Now, let's HTML. These are the client-side events. Client-side events which will get executed inside the browser. Inside the browser. Now, we have the below common HTML events. Now, here, event describes an occasion or situation when the corresponding business logic will get fired. When the corresponding business logic will get fired. So in order to find that business logic depends upon your requirement, we are using the help of this. So based on some events, we would like to find some actions also over here. Now, Based on the events, we can invoke the client-side business logic to perform the operations. Inside the application. Now, so what are few events are available over here? Now, for example, first one, unchange. Unchange, what will do when the user edit the content inside the control. When the user edit the content inside the control. Now the means change. Edit means change. Then automatically this event will get occur. Second, we have RP. When the user click on the control, the means component. That means HTML edit. Click on the HTML edit. HTML element means what? So whatever the component, it may be a button, it may be text box, it may be anything. Okay, then it is called as HTML element. These are purely elements. They are calling it as elements. For example, it may be button, it may be text box, it may be label, or anything, whatever. Next one. On double click. When the user double click on the control. Double click on the control. So we can able to find some actions as well. Next. Now, on mouse over. Okay, on mouse over. Now, it will find when the mouse is over on the control. Whenever the mouse control has been placed on the control, then it is indicating that okay, on mouse over. So now when the user is placing the mouse pointer on this particular control, then it is called as okay, on mouse over. Now, on blur. Now, if I, when the control loses the focus, when the control is losing the focus, then it is going to be okay indicating the event as on blur. And on key down. Now it will find when the user press or pushes the keyboard key, and then unload. It will find when the browser has loaded the content. When the browser has loaded the content, then it is going to be firing this event that is called as onboard. Once the page has been loaded, if you want to do any operation, these are few common events are available as part of your HTML. So these common events we can use for our controls, also for our components, for your text lightning input and the lightning button controls. For all these controls, we can use these common events. These are few common events are available here for each and every control. Now, then how can we use this controls over here? So how to invoke this? How to invoke some actions based on these controls? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, let's see practically over here what we can do in this place. Now, let me show you some practical use cases, how to use this event, and then how can we perform some actions also, everything we'll see practically today. Now, let's see how can we do that. Let me show you with a practical use case. So now let me show you each and every events here one by one. We'll see how can we use them, and then how to prepare some small functionalities like as how to implement some calculator kind of functionalities to work some actions. We'll see practically. For example, so let me design a lightning component. Now I'm going to preparing a lightning component here. Create lightning web component, HTML events component, HTML events component. Use the default directory. Now here my component has been prepared over here. HTML events component, and then I'm having this HTML file and the JS file and the metadata XML file also. So now here I would like to place a control. I would like to place a control over here. Now in this control, I would like to place one text box. I would like to place a text box over here. Now let's see practically in this case, how can we place this? I'm indicating the div tag. So now inside the div tag, I would like to place a control, lightning input. Lightning input. So now here I'm indicating the properties. I'm indicating the properties like label equals to enter the search content. This is the label here. I'm indicating the name. Name is nothing but to identify this control uniquely. I'm indicating search text. Search text. There is some label, anything we can give, no problem here. LBL, search. I'm giving this name as LBL search. Now, I would like to specify the placeholder. Now, I would like to specify the placeholder. Placeholder equals to enter search text. So now this is the input control which I'm going to place. And for this one, I would like to give some div tag, or else it will be representing this input control from starting of the browser to ending of the browser. So now let me add that CSS file so that we can apply HTML events component .css. HTML events component .css. Now, here is the CSS file. Here I'm indicating the CSS for div tag. Now I would like to specify this properties. Width I'm indicating as some 400 pixels. Now here I'm going to be indicating margin left Okay, margin left I'm indicating 400 pixels. Margin top I'm indicating as 100 pixels. And then I would like to specify border radius. Okay, I'm indicating this 10 pixels. Border property, I'm indicating that 1 pixel solid black. And then I'm going to be indicating padding left. That will be some 10 pixels. Padding right, that is also 10 pixels. Padding top, I'm indicating as 10 pixels. Padding bottom, I'm indicating as 10 pixels. These are the properties which I have applied. Now, so now these properties I'm going to be applying for the div tag so that we can able to represent this control. This is the lightning input control which I'm representing inside this. Now, let me show you first how can we do this. Now this component I would like to call inside my lighting application also. Go to that our lighting application or application which we have prepared in the past. So now here I'm indicating HTML events component. Now let's save this. So now here HTML event component cannot be empty. So now first of all we have to prepare this. We have to save this. Now let me save this first. Let's save this component, CSS file. Now let's save this HTML. Now successfully. Now let's go to that lighting app. Lighting application, HTML events component. Now let's save this. I'm pushing this code now. Now it runs successfully. Let's go to our scratch arc. I'm going to this Control Shift P, open default arc. Go to the developer console. Go to the developer console. Now run this. So now here I'm able to place that control here. Okay, this is the text box over here. So enter the search content and then this is the text box over here. Okay, this is the text box which I have placed over here. So now I have placed one border also, okay, for this particular division. And then here I'm giving some left padding also, right padding also, and then I have given the margin left and the margin top also. I have given all these options. Now, fine. So now inside this particular text box, I want to show some content. What we can do in this case, if you want to show some content in this inside this text box, then place that content inside your JavaScript file. So now here I'm having a JavaScript. Let me go to the JavaScript file. HTML events, okay. HTML events component.js. Now I'm preparing a property. That means variable. Whatever the variables we are defining in our JavaScript file, those are called as properties. Now let's see. I'm preparing a property over here. Like as I'm indicating some such a text equals to, I would like to specify that. Now I am indicating some Ram Kumar. Ram Kumar. So now here I have placed some such a text variable over here. Now here this variable value I want to show inside my text box. In my text box, then what we can do, just we can specify the value property, value equals to specify that, okay, specify that property name. What is the property name? Okay, such a text. And then mention that property in the curly braces. Curly braces. So that here, don't specify any double quotations and nothing, no exclamation symbols, no v dot, nothing. Directly we can access that variables, okay, inside my lightning component also. So that just you can able to define a variable over here, such a text variable equals to Ram Kumar have assigned some value, and now this value I want to populate inside my text box, so that in this lightning input control I'm giving the value, the default value as such a text. Now let me save this JavaScript file first. Now it has been pushed to my source arc successfully. Now let me save this. So whatever the value that have entered in my, whatever the value that have placed inside my JavaScript, that value I'm placing in my input control directly. So now let's see here. Let me execute this piece of code now. Let's run this. So now by default, whatever the content that we have given in JavaScript, that content we can able to place inside my control also. Previously, it is showing simply the watermark, but now here it is representing whatever the content that we have in JavaScript, that content we can able to place inside this variable over here. Now, this is how we can able to represent that respective property value inside my control also. Now my requirement is in this particular content here, if you are modifying anything, suppose if I'm removing any of the character, or if I'm adding any more character, then I want to show some alert message. I want to show some alert message. That means what? I want to find some actions here. Whenever I'm changing this control, okay, whenever I'm changing this control, if you are changing this value, then I would like to indicate. Then how can we specify when the control value has been changed? That means in this control on change, upon changing the value of this control, so that I would like to fire some action. So that in this case here, I'm indicating an event here on change. Okay, these are all other properties here. Now on change, I'm indicating on change what you want to do. I would like to call a method here. Then how can we specify that method? So specify the method name in the form of curly braces, no exclamation symbols. No exclamation symbol, directly in the curly braces specify that method name. So now which JavaScript method you would like to invoke, we can specify. I'm indicating here, okay, on now handle change. Handle change. So now here we can able to indicate that. Okay, handle change or handle unchained, whatever, anything, any method name we can specify here. So now as soon as once I click on this, okay, whenever we are modifying this control value, if you're modifying this control value, then I would like to find this action, and then in this one, in this method, I would like to write some logic over here. Then how to write the logic here? Now let's see. Just we have to prepare the method. In my JavaScript file, I would like to prepare that method here. How to prepare that method? Now let me show you practically. Just you can able to prepare the method like this. So whatever the method name that we're given, okay, open and close braces, and then here you can write the block. That's it. No need to specify public, void, nothing. Forget about all the things. Just you can specify the method name and then open and close braces here. This is a function. This is a method which we are preparing in JavaScript. So now here we can verify. I want to show some message here. What I want to show some alert message. So alert, here we can specify the message here. Now the content has been, okay, such a text has been edited. Such a text has been modified. I want to show this message over here. That means whenever you are changing this value, then I would like to show this alert message. Boss, you have modified this content. Now let's save this. Push this code into that scratch arc. Now it is successful. Move this HTML code also. Now successful. Now run this. Run this control. Now it is indicating this content here. Now this is the content that we have. Now I did not modify any content here. Now I'm changing this content value, Ram Kumar. I'm removing R, the last one. If I'm removing this one, it is indicating this. Okay, it is indicating the message. So now such a text has been modified. Okay, when you try to modify that content, immediately it is firing that. When you try to change, it is going to be indicating that message. Okay, the content has been updated here. Suppose if I'm adding something here, okay, if I'm Ram Kumar, I'm adding this T. Okay, if I'm adding the T, automatically it is indicating that, okay, such a text has been modified. That means what? The content has been, okay, modified. The content has been modified. So that here we can able to find some actions also. Okay, we can find some actions. Depends upon your application requirement. Okay, depends upon your application requirement. So we can able to indicate here what event has been occurred, and then based on that event, we can able to perform some actions as well. So upon changing this content, okay, I would like to show some alert message. That's what I'm using this. Now, suppose for example, let me place one more control as well. I'm placing a button control also. I'm placing a button control. Lightning button. Now, lightning button. So I'm indicating these properties. Like label, I'm indicating this. Click me. I'm indicating the name. Name equals to, I would like to specify that value. Now, BTN button, click me. BTN button, click me here. And then I'm indicating variant. Variant equals to brand. I'm indicating this a brand variant here. Now this is the button. Upon click on this button control, I want to perform some action. So that I'm indicating on click. On click equals to, I would like to specify the method name. What method you want to execute? We can specify the method. Now, handle on click. Handle on click. This is a method which I would like to call. So I'm going to preparing this method in my JavaScript. Handle on click. Now here I would like to represent that alert message. Alert. You have clicked on click me button. You have clicked on click me button over here. So now here in this case, okay, I would like to specify. So now here I'm indicating this information. Now let's see practical. Now let me save this. I'm saving this code. Now push this HTML code also. Now let's run that application. Here I'm pressing that button control. Now when I click on this click me button control, it is giving the alert message that is indicating you have clicked on okay click me button. You have clicked on click me button. Now in this case here, okay, you can raise a question. Sir, when I click on the button control, how do we know okay which control has been clicked on that? I want to know this. I want to get that button control. Suppose I'm having some two buttons are available. Which button that you have clicked, I would like to know that. In this case, what we can do, let me show you. Now, for example, let me explain this. I'm placing two button controls. This is one button control. Okay, click me. And then I'm placing one more button control. Okay, one more button control. Here I'm giving a break tag. Now, here I'm indicating click me, and then I would like to indicate that one more button control with the name I would like to specify view details. Okay, view details or button control, anything here. Now here at the button I'm indicating button view. This is the label, this is the name here. Name of the button, this is the variant. So now here what I want to do is upon click on this button control, so which button that we have clicked, I want to know. So how can we do that here? Now let me place one more here. So now here I'm indicating this one more button control. For example, I'm using this two button controls over here, like as for example, okay, search text or search records. Now button search. And then second one, I'm placing one more button control, show records. Okay, show records, button show. Now, so these are the two button controls I have placed. Search records and then show records. Okay, two button controls over here. I have placed. For this button control search records, I have given the name as BTN search. Okay, this is the unique name. And then for this button control here, show records, and then this is the label, and then this is the name over here, which I have specified. Okay, which we have specified. Now, in this case here, how can we collect this? How to represent the label, how to represent the name. Okay, upon click on this button control, which button that we have clicked, I want to know. So for that one here, I'm preparing this method here. Let's see. Handle, okay, button details. Handle button details. Okay, or get button details, whatever, anything. Okay, get button details. Now this is the method. So now how to prepare this method? Now let's see. I'm preparing a method over here. Get button details. So now in this case, which button that you have clicked, how do we know based on that event, based on that click event here, which button that you have clicked? Have you clicked on either search records button or show records button? How do we know? For that one here, we need to get based on the event here. So now here to get that event details, we are passing that parameter as event. So now what this event parameter will do, event is nothing but an object, okay, which will be getting the details of the component or the control which has invoked this event. Suppose when you click on this button control, now this is the button control has invoked this event here, so that it will be returning this button details inside my event object. Will store that control event. So which control has invoked? Is it the first button or second button? Which button has click on this one? To get that button details here, we are using the help of event. So now here we can able to represent the details here. How to collect the details? Now let's see. Event. So now the event dot target. That means which control, okay, which control, okay, has indicated that event. To get that, okay, event component details here based on that event. So now what is that event name? On click. So now on click dot target. That means which button has invoked this one, which button has clicked. To get that button details, we are using target here. Target dot. If you want to get the label, then we can specify label. Then we can able to store inside a variable. I'm defining a constant variable. Constant. I would like to use button label. Button label equals to, I would like to specify event dot target dot. If you want to get the button name, constant. Button name equals to event dot target dot name. Okay, name. So now here, suppose if the control is in normal text box, then we can get the value also. Okay, we can get the value also inside that button control. Whatever we have the value, we can able to collect. Now, so in this case here, we are going to be using this event. Event is indicating that. That means we have click on the button control. That click is nothing but what? Event. So that event will be coming over here. Now this event will be getting this, okay, target. Target means what? Which button control has invoked this event? Which control invoke this event? It will go to that control. Then from that control, it is collecting the property value. That means label. So now here in this label property, whatever the value is available, that value it will collect. In this name property, whatever the value is available, that value it will be collecting over here. So that in order to collect this label and the name and the values, we can use this, okay, target over here. Now I want to represent this. Now I would like to indicate, okay, alert. So I would like to specify, you have selected, you have clicked on button control. What button control? Button label. Button label. Okay, button label. The control name. The control name, I would like to indicate button name. Button. So now I would like to represent. When you click on the button control, whatever the button that you click, that button details I would like to collect by using this event. That means event in the sense what here I would like to decide. I don't know which button I'm going to click. Based on that, I would like to perform some operations over here. So now in this case, so now based on the button name, we can able to collect that respective details. So that here I'm collecting this event. Based on that event, I'm collecting the respective control name, which control has invoked this event. And for that control, I'm getting the label and I'm getting the name I'm representing. You have clicked on so and so button control and the control name. The control name is, I would like to represent the control name here. Now, let me save this code. Now, let's save this HTML code as well. Now, let's see. Let's go to our Salesforce org, run the controls. And between these controls, let me give a space also, ampersand in BSP, ampersand in BSP. And then here I'm going to be indicating that a break tag, two break tags. Now, let me push this code to differentiate the controls. Now, let's go to your Salesforce app. Now run this. Now we can see the details. This is the button control which we have specified. When you click on this click me, it will be indicating this. Now you have clicked on this click me button here. Okay, fine. It will be, we are hard coding this one. But from this two button, which button you are going to click? We don't know that. Upon click on the button control, it will show the message. Now it is indicating you have clicked on set a records button. Okay, set a records button. The control name is BTN search. Suppose when I click on show records button, it is indicating you have clicked on show records button. Now the control name is BTN show. That means we can get the properties of this button controls also with the help of this target. So now we have to go to the event. Okay, we have to go to that event. So now here in this event here, so once you click on this one on click, that means once you click on this, this event will be getting occurred. This event is invoking this method. Now the method will be collecting that event. What event? On click here, which control that you have click on that, it will be collecting that controls details by using target. Event data target means what? This event has been invoked by which control? This event has been initiated by which control, which text box, which label, which pick list control it has invoked. So to get that controls details, we are using target. So from that target, we are using the help of the control property values, label, name. If it is having some value, we can able to collect these values also. This is how we can able to use this functionality. We can able to prepare our own events. Okay, so now click on this button controls. We can use that on change event also. We can use this on click event also, on double click also. Everything we can able to do those events. That's what here, these are few common events that we have as part of this HTML, like as on change, on click, on double click, on mouse over, on blur, on key down, on load. Like that, these are few common events that we have in HTML components. Okay, now this is the way we have to use some HTML events. Let me place this code. Design a lightning web component to demonstrate the browser events. Browser events. Now I'm indicating this HTML or template file, and the CSS file, and the JavaScript file. Let me place this code. JavaScript file, style. Now this is the way we are going to be using those events. Based on those events, we can perform some actions as well. We can invoke some JavaScript methods, and then with the help of those methods, we can perform the actions whatever you want. So now we'll see one more practical use case here. By using these events and the actions, how can we implement a small basic calculator application? Now let's see practically here. Now I want to implement a basic calculator control. For this one, I would like to use lightning card control. With the help of this lightning card, I would like to place that button controls, and then I would like to place some text boxes also. Or else normal, you can use any control also. Okay, whatever you want, based on your requirement. It's not mandatory to have only the lightning card. You can use anything also, whatever you want. Let's take a use case. Design a lightning web component to implement the basic calculator to perform the mathematical calculations. So instead of using any server-side functionality, I would like to purely implement by using JavaScript. So the similar kind of components we have implemented when you go to the Visual Force. In the Visual Force, we have performed purely server-side actions. That means whatever the values we have entered in the text boxes, these values we have to pass to our Apex class variable by using get and set, and then we have to perform the operations in the Apex programming level, and we have to call those methods from your button controls by using that action property. But here what we need to do, so now here we don't need to perform these operations in the server side, we can do it from the client side itself. Then how can we perform these actions? Okay, now let's see how to implement this basic calculator functionality. We'll see with the practical use case now. Now let's see. Now let's see how can we do this one. Now let me prepare a component. I'm closing this component details. I'm preparing a new lightning component, new file. sorry, I'm preparing a new Lightning web component. Basic calculator component. Basic calculator component. Now select the default directory. Now my component has been created successfully. Now let's go to this HTML file. Now here I would like to use this. Okay, div tag. In the div tag, I would like to place these controls. Let's see. Whatever the style that was applied, the similar kind of style I would like to apply here also. Now I'm indicating this. I would like to prepare a style file. Basic calculator component .css. Now I'm placing this. The width will be some 800 and the margin left to 400 and then top margin and the border radius I'm indicating. Now the border and the padding left I'm indicating 20 pixels. Here also padding right 20 pixels and then padding bottom I'm indicating 20 pixels. Okay, now let's see. The same div style, okay, div tag I would like to use. Let me go to the HTML file in order to design my component. I'm using this div tag. Now div tag. Inside this div tag, I would like to specify the controls. I'm indicating lightning input, lightning input. Now here I'm indicating that label property. Label equals to enter first number. And then I'm indicating name equals to now the first number. And then I'm indicating this placeholder equals to first number. Now this is the property. So now here this is the control which we have specified. Okay, lightning input control. In order to place the first number, so this is the control which we have, enter first number, and then it is providing this name as I have given that name as f number, and this is the placeholder value. Now like the similar way I want to place two more controls also. Now here I'm indicating enter second number. This is yes number property, second number. And then here I'm indicating operation result. Operation result. I'm indicating simply result. I'm indicating result value. So now these are the three controls which I have, three text boxes. And then I would like to give two break tags. I'm placing some button controls. I would like to place the button controls. Okay, to perform each and every operation, I would like to place a separate button control. So now here I'm indicating lightning button. Lightning button. Lightning button control. Lightning button control. I'm indicating this a label. Label equals to edition. I'm indicating a variant equals to brand. I'm indicating variant equals to brand. Like the similar. One more button control. So now let me place here. Okay. Next control, one more. Now, first one addition, second one subtraction, third one multiplication, fourth one division, fifth one modulus. These are the 5 button controls which are placed over here. For each button control, I would like to give some space also, ampersand NBSP, semicolon, which will be giving a space. After each button control, I would like to give a space. Now, this is my user interface. Now let me save this as CSS as well. Let me save this CSS. Now let's run this. I want to run this application. Here I'm indicating that basic calculator component. Basic calculator component. Move this application also to your scratch arc. Now, let's go to that application. So now it will be indicating this controls over here. Okay. Now, first number, second number, result operation, and then I have placed this button controls also. Instead of this much of length, I will be giving like some 600. Okay, will be the width. Go to that CSS, and here width I'm indicating like some 600. That is sufficient. Let's refresh this user interface now. So now I'm having this button controls also. Okay, now. So now my button controls are available, and then I'm having this text boxes are also available. So now what I need to do inside this text boxes, whatever the values we have entered, these values I would like to collect, and upon click on this control, I would like to perform some actions over here. I would like to perform some actions. I would like to perform some actions. Now, then how can we do that? Okay, now let's see practically in this case. So whatever the value that we have placed, these values I would like to collect into my JavaScript class first. How can we collect this one? Whatever the values we have entered, here I have given these values 234 and then 454. These two values I would like to collect into my JavaScript class, and then I would like to store them. For that reason here, okay, for that reason what I want to do is I would like to collect this value. So now to store these two values here, I would like to define two variables inside my JavaScript file. Let me go to that JavaScript file. In this JavaScript file, let me place two variables. First one, first number variable, and then second number variable. Directly we can define, no need to give any data type over here. I'm not designing any value. Now, and then I would like to specify that result value also. Okay, operation result. Operation result. These are the three variables which I have specified. So now what I want to do, as soon as once you have entered the values inside these text boxes, I want to collect these values into my variables here. Into these particular variables, I would like to store them. Then how can we store these values here? As soon as once I click on this, okay, once we enter some value inside this variable, I would like to store them. Then how can we do that? Okay, now let's see practically here. For this one, I would like to prepare a method. In this method, I would like to call this event. Whenever you are typing some content here, okay, whenever you are typing some content, I would like to do some operations. That means I would like to get that value over there. I would like to get that value. So now here inside this controls. Now, let's see. As soon as whenever we have entered these values here, I would like to call a method. Now let me go to this code. Now here these are the button input controls. Here I'm indicating this. Unchange. Unchange equals to, I would like to call the method. Now handle unchange. Okay, whenever the value has been changed. That means whenever the value has been entered. So collect this value, I would like to store this value into my variables. So that here, let me create a method. Handle unchange. Now, in this case, what happened? I would like to collect the value. Once the value has been getting collected here, like the similar way, I want to collect the value of that second number variable also. For that reason, here I'm preparing the same method. I would like to collect this event here. That means which button has click on this one. I would like to collect this based on that event, whatever the value we have entered. So now here I'm going to be collecting this event. Based on the event, I will differentiate which text box value you have entered. Based on that, I would like to collect. So then how can we collect these values? Now let's see. Based on this particular labels here, based on the label or value, we can able to collect it. So these are the components are available. This is having F name. This is F number, this is the S number, first number, second number over here. What is the value that we have entered? I would like to collect it here. Now, let's see. For that one, I'm defining this variable constant. I would like to specify the label of the control over here. Okay, the label of the control here. That means name, element name, element name here. I'm indicating element name equals to event dot target dot name. Okay, event dot target dot name. That means, so which event? This means this is the event called as, okay, on click, so the on change. So whenever we are entering some value, where you have entered the value, in which control you have entered, in first number text box and second number text box, I'm collecting that control here. In that control here, I'm going to be recognizing the name. So name in the sense, this is a value which I'm collecting here, F number. And then in that control, whatever the value we have entered, I would like to collect the value also. Now the constant element value equals to, I'm indicating event dot target dot value. So whatever the value we have entered, I'm collecting that element value over here. Now I would like to collect that element value. So now once it is done, okay, once it is done, then what needs to be done? I need to place this value. So it depends upon the value which you have entered. I would like to check. So now here in this case, if element name is equals to, okay, first number, okay, first number, then pass this value here. In this case here, first number value, this is the first number value. First number value equals to, okay, this is the element value. Whatever the value that were collected, that will be element value. Else, I would like to specify. So now the second number equals to element value. That's it, simple. That means what here? Instead of writing these two methods, I'm writing only one method over here. I'm writing only one method. So that I'm preparing a method. Now the method is going to be collecting the event name. Based on that event name, I'm collecting the respective control. That control name I'm collecting. If the control name is equals to F number, that means here you have changed the value of this control. You have entered the value in the first number. Then I'm storing that value inside the variable called as first number variable. First number variable. Okay, in this first number variable, I'm storing this value. Now, or else, if the currently invoked, currently changed content is from second number variable, that means a different one. If it is not the first number, then I would like to store that value in like a second number variable. That's it, simple concept. Now, once the values are available, then we can able to perform the actions here. These values I would like to represent inside my variables as well. If you want to show these variables, then we can specify, okay, value equals to, we can specify that. Okay, value equals to, we can specify this value as well here. Whatever the values are available, we can able to place those values also inside it. Value equals to first number. Now here we can specify value equals to second number. So whatever the value we have entered, that value will be in the first number variable. I am going to representing this. Nothing but this value I would like to place inside my text box also. That means the value should not be erased. The value should be visible. Once it is done, then I would like to represent the value over here. How? By performing the operations. Upon click on this button control, I would like to perform some operations here. So that here I'm going to be invoking that control addition. For that one, I'm using on click. On click equals to, I would like to specify the method name. So now what is that method name which you would like to perform? Let's specify. I'm indicating this. On click equals to, I would like to specify. Now do addition. Okay, do addition. I would like to call this a method. Okay, I would like to call this method. How to call this method? Now let's see. Just you can able to write that code. Do addition. Here we can able to perform this operation. So now here I would like to collect this first number value in the second number value, and then I would like to do the operation. So now here I would like to access this variables, first number variable and the second number variable. How can we access this one? By using this current reference that is called as this dot first number, and then this dot second number. Okay, that means the current instance, first number value, second number value I'm representing. Now here I would like to specify this dot operation result equals to, now I would like to indicate %. That means we have to convert this value into that integer type by using %. Okay, %. If I'm not using %, what will happen? I will show you that here. Don't worry. Now % of this dot first number plus % of this dot second number. Okay, now that's it. I'm performing this operation. So now in this case, whatever the values are available in the first number variable, second number variable, I'm referencing by using this dot. This means current reference, the current reference here. So collect this value of this first number variable and convert it into % here. That means integer type. Now let's see. So now sometimes you can raise a question, sir, if I'm not using this %, what will happen? Let me show you first. Then I will tell you why should we need to go with that % over here. Why should we need to go with this %? Okay, we will tell you here. Now let me save this code. Click on save. Save this code. Now let me save this HTML. Now it is running successfully. Now let me go to my application. Refresh this. Now here I'm giving some value. 2 the T4, 12. If I'm giving this addition, okay, this addition value I want to show on the result variable right here. Now let me represent that value here. Okay, I haven't placed that value. This value I would like to represent in the last number result here. So now here I would like to specify value equals to, I would like to represent that. Okay, operation result. Let me push this code. Now let me run this. Now enter the value. I'm indicating 123 and then 34. When I click on this addition, it is indicating, okay, 123 undefined. Now the second value is not yet recognized over here. Okay, second number value is not yet recognized. That means it will, what it will do, it is an undefined value. That means it will be performing both concatenation. It is doing this concatenation over here. So I don't want to do that kind of concatenation here. I want to perform some addition. If I'm not using %, simply it will do that concatenation over here. So for that reason here, if you want to do that operation, then we have to specify that values as well. Now let's see. So now let me write that piece of code. Go to the button control. So now here I'm indicating this values. Now if it is first number equals 2, then I'm storing this value in the first number variable. Else I'm storing in that second number variable over here. Now, so now here I'm performing this operation. I'm performing this operation. ParseInt of this dot first number plus parseInt of this dot second number. Okay, this dot second number. So now here I'm performing this operation. So I'm able to collect the values of these both the variables as well, like the similar way. When I click on the subtract button here, subtraction. Now I would like to do this operations as well. Subtraction. I'm indicating on click. On click equals to, I'm indicating do subtraction. Like the similar way, I'm preparing that method. Do multiplication. Do multiplication. And then I'm preparing this method. Do division. Do division. And then here I'm writing this do modulus. Do modulus. So now I would like to call these methods here, but the methods are not yet prepared. Let me prepare these methods one by one. So now here I'm indicating do subtraction. Here let me copy that same code, similar kind of code we need to do over here as well. Now do subtraction. And here I'm going to be using this minus subtraction operation. Do multiplication. Here I'm doing this multiplication. And then do division. I'm indicating this division. Do modulus. Do modulus. I'm indicating percentage symbol. As part of JavaScript, it is supporting this percentage symbol also over here. So now here I would like to perform these operations as well. Now I'm going to be collecting this variable values over here. Now let's see. Let me save this piece of code. Now let me run this application. Save this code as well, HTML code. Let me check the variable name, operation result. Okay, right. Let me save this. Now, let me run this. Refresh this user interface. Now, I'm indicating this first number value, second number value. When I click on addition, it is showing not a number. Now, let me check what is the problem in this case. It is showing like as not a number. This is the first number. Operation result. So let's check what is the problem in this case. First number, second number. So now here I'm going to be collecting this element values over here. Okay, the event dot target dot name. I'm collecting these values. Which event has caused this operation? We are collecting this element name. If the element name equals to the F number, let me check exactly the same number that I have entered for the input name. F number, S number. Element name equals to F number. And this dot, okay, first number equals to the element value. Whatever the element value we have collected, that element value I'm placing inside this. Now,
Sir, anything like we are getting the element from based upon element value, right? Here we need to uh, set that number like to that operation result, anything like that.
yes, that's what here we are indicating. Okay, operation result. This is the value. This value I am going to be referencing inside my control also here. Value equals to, this is a property here. We have specified operation result. Now let's see. Let me do this. Let me specify the braces. Now let me test this one. These variables also, first number and second number. Now let me run this application. Refresh this. I'm giving this value. Still it is showing like as addition. It will be looking like as not a number. Somewhere it is missing this value. Let me check. Update and review. All the operations are causing the same issue. Now we are collecting this event dot target dot name. If it is equals to F number, this control name is what? F number. Then I'm indicating first number variable value equals to element value. This is the element value, event dot target dot value. Now else this dot second number equals to the element value. Now operation result. We are using this percent method as well.
Firoz, why can't we debug, Firoz?
Now let me check
Like
it out. What is the value it is here?
this dot operation result, this variable will be for this component page only, right? It will connect with the HTML page.
So it is connecting with the HTML page only here. Now let me test with that value. What is the values that we have? Let me check.
The operation result name is like a result, not operation result there.
Sir, missing the unhandled change for the second number.
So now handle on change.
Second number is missing.
Now for second number placeholder. Okay. So now we haven't supplied this method. That is a problem. We are unable to get that value. That's what it is showing like us the not a number, because here it is getting that identified value, that means unidentified value. Because of that, it is indicating this issue. Now let's see. Let me save this code as well. Let me run. Refresh this user interface. Reload this application. I'm giving some value. When I click on addition, we can able to see that. And then this is the addition operation result. We can see subtraction operation result. We can see that multiplication result, division operation result also, and the modulus operation result also we can able to see. So all the operations also we can see. Suppose if I'm giving this second number value as a 0, upon click on this division, it is showing like as infinity. So instead of this one, if you want to show some alert message, then we can write that piece of code also. So now here we can specify, it may be division, it may be modulus. For example, let me go with the division. I'm indicating if you want to check. If this dot second number value is greater than 0, then only we can able to perform this operation. Okay, I would like to perform this operation if the second number value is equals to 0. Or else, if the second number value is 0, then I would like to perform this operation. Else I would like to show an alert message. Alert message, I would like to show division operation cannot be performed as the second number value 0. I would like to show that message. Division operation cannot be performed as the second number value 0. I would like to show the message. I'm showing only for the division over here. Okay, for the modulus, I'm going to be showing like as infinity. If you're passing any infinity, it will be indicating that. Now let's run this. I'm giving this first number value as 123, second number value is 45. When you click on addition, we can see the result, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the modulus, everything we can do. Suppose if I'm giving second number value as 0, addition, here it will be showing this addition result, subtraction result same, multiplication result is indicated, division operation, it will show the message, division operation cannot be performed as the second number value is 0. Suppose if I'm giving the second number value as some 89, then when you click on division, it will do the operation, and then we can see the modulus operations as well. This is how we can able to build our own controls. So we can able to build our own components, and then we can able to use the events. Upon click on these controls, okay, we can able to find those events. Based on the events, we can find some actions as well. This is how we are using some basic HTML events as part of your Lightning Web Components. Okay. Now, Let me place this code. Template file. I'm indicating style file. I'm indicating JavaScript file. I'm placing this application also. This is how we are going to be invoking some actions, okay, by using Lightning Web Components and then with the help of this event. These are purely the client-side events, browser-based events. And then in the next session, we'll see the concept of decorators. We'll see what exactly a decorator and what decorators are available when coming to the Lightning Web Component. What exactly the wire decorator, what exactly API decorator, what exactly track decorators. We'll see what exactly the decorators concept. We'll see in the next session. Next session will be on next Saturday because tomorrow I will not be available. I will be out of station, so that we don't have the session tomorrow. Next session will be on Saturday evening. Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time.